Hi, and welcome to this video where we're going to solve the equation the absolute value of the quantity 2x plus 3 equals 4. Now, before we solve this absolute value inequality, let's talk a little bit about the meaning of absolute value. So let's kind of go back and review. Okay, so if we look at this, the absolute value of x equals negative 3. What that means is that x could be 3 units away from 0. We could be 1, 2, 3 units to the right, or we could be 1, 2, 3 units to the left. Therefore, x could be 3, or it could be negative 3, because these absolute value signs mean the distance from 0. So if I look at a problem like this, the absolute value of x equals 5, I know that x could be negative 5 or positive 5. If I have a problem that looks like this, the absolute value of x equals negative 7, well, first of all, you should think, all right, that doesn't seem quite right. How can a distance be negative? Well, it can't. So for this problem, there is no solution. So be aware, once in a while you get these negative outcomes, but what you need to do is stop and think if that even makes sense. All right, let's go back to our problem. So for this problem, what we're saying is that the quantity 2x plus 3 is 4 units from 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually do the graphing part first to kind of understand what's going on with this problem. So if 0 is here, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4 units away, and I could say, okay, that 4 units away from 0 could be equal to my 2x plus 3, or I could go 1, 2, 3, negative 4, and this negative 4 could be equal to 2x plus 3, because again, what we're saying up here with this equation is that this quantity 2x plus 3 is equal to 4 units away from 0. Okay, so let's solve these two equations we just wrote. We wrote this equation and we wrote this equation. These two equations are going to yield two separate answers. You solve them just the way you've always solved equations. So let's go ahead and knock those out. All right, so once you solve those, you come up with these two separate answers. And with these kinds of problems, it's always important to check your solutions to make sure that they work. Once in a while, you'll get an extraneous solution, and we'll see that more with the inequality problems. So let's do a quick check. Remember, when you check answers, you plug them into the original equation, just like you always have with any equation. So we're going to put in negative 7 halves. And what you're doing is you're doing order of operations on the left side. So 2 times negative 7 halves. The 2's are going to cancel because this one is a multiplier and this one is a divider. So you get negative 7 plus 3. That's still in the absolute value, which is going to be negative 4, still in the absolute value, which is equal to 4. So that one checks out. We're also going to check our other solution over here. So again, we're going to take our absolute value, 2 times 1/2 plus 3, and make sure that that is equal to 4. I'm running out of space, so I'll just squeeze it in here. 2 times 1/2 is 1 plus 3. We've still got the absolute value. We're checking to see if that's equal to 4. The absolute value of 4 is 4 units away from 0, so 4 equals 4, and that checks out. So when you're doing these problems, always think about the meaning of the equation. We're talking about distance from 0 when we're using absolute values.